Welcome to Music Motors. My name's Tom Kent. Now, if you aren't already subscribed, you need to make sure that you click down, subscribe, and click the bell icon. I'm getting that in straight away because I'm not one of those YouTubers who puts it in last minute at the end. You join me in the 2019 Suzuki Vitara. Now, this is an SZT. This is kind of the middle of the range. This one's equipped with an auto box, powered by a 1 litre 3-cylinder, which produces 110 brake horsepower and 160 newton meters of torque, 0 to 62 in about 12.5 seconds and topping out about 110, 111 miles an hour. Now, you can get this car for $21,500. Prices start on the Vitara at about $17,000, but there's a multitude of different things to talk about. So here's a facelifted Suzuki Vitara for 2019. Around town fuel economy is important, really, especially when you consider this is suited to a city. 1 litre, 3-cylinder. How's it going to do around town? So 46.6 miles per gallon average over that entire journey, and there was a lot of start-stop, there was a lot of back road use. So as a 1 litre, this doesn't feel like a 1 litre around town. Only when you really put your foot down do you get to the end of the usable power. This is really comfortable, great lock, really good visibility. It's a fantastic town car. That fuel economy is not bad considering that was pretty heavy going. So realistically, if that was clearer and it was a straighter run, you'd be seeing considerably more. So 10 out of 10 for the city test. Starting with the outside, so obviously this is a facelift. It's been changed a little bit, but generally the main Suzuki lines remain the same. Good, long, strong lines. The front light cluster has been updated. The rear end's kind of been tightened up a bit more. Generally, it's just a bit more of a overall update. That said though, they are keeping those nice, strong Suzuki lines. The same lines you see in Suzuki Swift, Swift Sport, so that design language is carrying over. What was nice to see is that instead of having diamond cut alloy wheels, which can be a bit of a pain if you damage them or you want to have them refurbed or anything like that, plain powder coated alloys, nice touch, nice alloy design. They really suit the exterior of this car. Now this is a middle of the road, it's not a massively sporty one, but finished in superior white, this does look very sporty. I feel that even though this isn't a proper sports utility vehicle, especially because this one's a 2-wheel drive, it gives you that real sports and utility, more than some of the competition, I dare say.
Most of my reviews have a thing called the gig test in it, and that's what this is. The first part of it is seeing how much equipment I can fit in. That's really important to me because I don't want to be having all my equipment out on display when I'm stopped at the services having a break or something. It needs to be hidden away, so within reason I need to be able to have quite a lot of boot space. Now, the previous Vitara that I had, the Vitara S, didn't take everything. The base had to go on the rear footwell, so I'm expecting that to be the same in this, but equally I remember that being a super capable gigging car. I wasn't expecting that. Everything went in. Obviously I did it wrong last time because the boot sizes haven't increased. 10 out of 10 fitting that in though.
Now when you step inside, you step into a world of surprising comfort. So obviously quite a lot of plastic because this is a cheaper end car, but it's nice soft touch plastic. There's nothing hard and horrible about it, and it's throughout the interior, it's a good quality. You don't get any bits that you think, oh, that's really poorly put together. It's extraordinarily comfortable. These seats are very good even on longer journeys. You have a good amount of head space. Your rear passengers get quite a lot of space. From a driver's point of view, you get really good visibility all the way around. You get decent sized wing mirrors, and from a driving perspective, although the bonnet does arch out a little bit, new design language and safety, it's not so much you can't see what's going on, so you don't struggle about parking this. When it comes to your amenities on the inside, well, you do get bundles of different things, and obviously the higher trim levels you can have things like heated seats, but let's go from this point of view. You do get DAB, you do get navigation. If you go for a higher end one, you do get things like App Connect, and you do get a few extra bits, but generally, bang for buck wise, you're getting quite a lot of amenity and technology. Also, don't forget that you do get cruise control, you do get speed limit, you do get lots of controls all at your fingertips, and this is all stuff that you wouldn't expect for a car which costs as little as this does. Finishing off on the inside, it is very comfortable, it is very easy to drive, it's very pleasant to drive.
Your rear passengers have bundles and bundles of room, and the boot size is surprisingly big. Now, the first time I had a Vitara, which was about a year ago, I tried to fit all my stuff in and somehow failed. The base ended up on the rear passenger footwell. What I've discovered since is that I must have put it in wrong, because it just lapped it all up. Everything went in the boot. This isn't a massively big car, but it does have a massive boot. It is a massively practical car inside and out, and it's actually quite a nice height for getting in and out. It's not too low, it's not too high. You just kind of slot in, job done.
You join me in a Tesco's car park. No, I haven't been shopping. I'm actually on the way to my gig. I'm just about to leave. So the gig test, the driving to the gig part of the gig test, seeing what fuel economy I get, how comfortable is it, this being the 1 litre, how does it suit on motorways, testing all of that out of a car which I thought was perfect as a 1.4, and it was really, really good. Putting a smaller engine in it, taking away the 4-wheel drive. Is it still as practical and capable? We'll find out. Hopefully no snow this time though. 49.2 is not bad at all. The big thing I noticed, this doesn't feel like a 1 litre. It sits on a motorway really, really well. Now the 50 section definitely helped with getting this fuel economy up, but without that, it probably would have turned around about 46 anyway. It's very comfortable, it's very quiet. It's amazing how punchy as a 1 litre it is, because at the end there was a guy doing 25 in a 60, so I still managed to get round him, so it still isn't slow. So really this is like a really good all-rounder. It gives you good fuel economy. It's a smaller engine if you don't want a bigger engine to run. Suzuki's nailed it.
From a performance point of view and economy, well, 110 brake horsepower, 160 newton meters of torque, 0 to 60, 12.5, top end 110, 111 miles an hour. It's not a Ferrari, but it's also not a slouch. Around town up to 40 miles an hour, this is really nippy. The only time you feel the 3-cylinder slug is on the motorway, where because this is a heavier car, it's having to go hell for leather to pull you up to 70 miles an hour. All that said though, amazingly, for the most part, this doesn't feel like a 1 litre. This drives like the 1.4 until you are really asking a bit too much of the engine. That's when you notice it. It's really a lovely drive. The brakes are very punchy, the throttle response is great, and the auto box is actually really, really good. When I saw that it was coming out, I went, oh no, I really wish I had the manual coming in, and I thought a 1 litre auto box is going to be rubbish. I was so wrong. It's such a great match, and it's really, really good, especially as a 2-wheel drive. Obviously, all grip gives you that all year round capability, but it was absolutely fantastic. And then on the motorway, well, at points I was seeing like 48 miles per gallon. Around town, I never really got any less than about 40. If you were careful, you got about 43, 44 around town, and on a run, over 50 miles per gallon is really, really impressive. So around town, you really don't feel this is a 1 litre 3-cylinder with 110 horsepower. It feels really nippy and capable. And on a run, you get decent enough fuel economy, but you just have to take into consideration that this really is more of a city car. It's very quiet, and on back roads, you can have real fun, because while you are having to metaphorically rev the tits off it to go anywhere, it means that you're not breaking speed limits, but you're having great fun, and the 3-cylinder noise is just, it's real fun. So a summary then. This is a car which bottom end costs 17. If you have one like this SZT, you're going to be paying more, especially with an auto box, which is a £1,300 option, more about 21.5. If you want to go for an SZ5, then you're going to be paying more again. I think that starts at 22.5 and it goes up from there. However, Suzuki kind of just give you everything as standard per trim level. So you're not going to have to be optioning in things, because it's already going to come with everything. I think the only things you can option in are some style bits on the outside and paint. That's about it. This is a car which really around town surprised me, and on the motorway doesn't let itself get walked over. You just have to do a bit of planning as you're going along. It's a car which I was really surprised to see just how good it was going to be, not just for the price, but for the engine and gearbox match. It is superb. It's a car which is quiet and really comfortable. You can really feel the road, surprisingly. It's not a sports car, but it's more fun in the regards of that you're not breaking the speed limit and almost killing yourself on a back road. It's superbly useful. It can do everything. This is a proper sports utility vehicle, especially if you spec in the all grip. If you went for the 1.4 and you went for a manual and you went for the all grip, it will kind of do absolutely anything you could ever want. Now, I can say that very confidently because last year a Suzuki Vitara S managed to get me home through a snowstorm where X5s, X6s, Q5, Q7, even Range Rover Sports were not able to get up hills because it's a light, nippy little SUV that can just do anything you ask it to. And if the new Jimny is anything to go by, you should really trust one of these, because I already did. But if you haven't driven one and you question its off-road capabilities, just remember they make the Jimny, which is probably the best 4x4 in the world, aside from a Defender, but totally different price brackets.